Today we are surrounded by love in its many, many languages everywhere. Its symbols, its cinematic archetypes, its seasonal hashtags. And yet rarely has love felt so diluted. In an age where nothing resists commodification, love too has become a spectacle. People treat intimacy and emotional connection as products to be consumed, something to acquire. The word love has become flat, ubiquitous, and ironically cheap. We have reduced love, this cosmic force, to a small sliver of its full potency. And perhaps this is no surprise. After all, the more valuable something is, the more likely it is to be cheapened and profaned. We live in a world thick with the idea of love. Songs, slogans, social media feeds, all of which invites us to crave intimacy. But this saturation of love language has not made us better lovers. If anything, it has made us more restless. Love has almost become a sort of background music in our lives and a kind of noise that we've forgotten to truly hear. And I would say this climate of constant yearning without proper fulfillment creates a kind of emotional vertigo. We want connection, but we don't know what to do with it when it arrives. We want passion, but not commitment. We want to be seen, but not exposed. We seek love, but fear intimacy. The first problem with modern love is narcissism. Modern love suffers not from absence, but from distortion. We confuse attraction with affection, fantasy with intimacy, chemistry with compatibility. Love is often mistaken for being seen, for being wanted, for being desired. But none of these are love itself, the shadows. The philosopher Eric Fromm warned that modern man does not know how to love, he only knows how to consume. And in consumer culture, even love is treated like a product to be acquired. And so the question is no longer, how do I become more loving? But, how do I become more desirable? We treat others like mirrors, and so we do not fall in love with people for who they are, but how they make us feel about ourselves. This is not love, but a kind of beautiful loneliness. Love destabilizes, it changes who you are. In its purest form, it is a source of great suffering and pain. Plato understood this when he described love as a kind of divine madness. It is not convenient, it is not comfortable. Real love demands ego death. It burns away the false self. It asks us to give, to stay, to see, even when it hurts. That is why Rumi wrote, "This is love, to fly toward a secret sky, to cause 100 veils to fall each moment." Modern love, on the other hand, is obsessed with safety. We want to be known but not changed. We want love to make us feel good, not real. We avoid pain at all costs, forgetting that love is forged in pain. Now, I'm not talking about abuse here, but the pain of surrender, the pain of seeing yourself clearly, the pain of letting someone in. Simone Weil called attention the rarest and purest form of generosity. And in love, that attention can be overwhelming, terrifying even, because it exposes us. Here's the thing. We often say we're looking for deep connection, but what we're actually looking for is connection that doesn't threaten our autonomy. We want to be adored, but not changed. We want someone who sees us, but doesn't demand anything of us. But love always demands something. Not necessarily always material things, but spiritual risk. The risk of being rearranged. Søren Kierkegaard called love a task. Commitment that takes time and grows deeper with every wound. To love is to live exposed, to be heard, because real love requires maturity. It requires sitting with someone's silence, forgiving without keeping score, speaking even when truth might break the peace. Real love means staying when it would just be easier to leave, and leaving when staying would kill the soul. Means facing the mirror someone else pulls up to you and not looking away. It means not just saying, "I love you," but asking, "Who am I when I love you? What part of me survives in this union, and what part must die?" In many ways, we're too impatient for love. We are in love with the idea of love, but we cannot bear its weight. We want its sweetness, but not its discipline. And yet, without that discipline, love decays. It is a high we chase rather than the truth we live. It is sentimental at best, violent at worst, and always ephemeral. One of the most common problems of modern love is transactional thinking. Conditional love is based on benefits, expectations, and reciprocity. But real love is not for a reason or what the beloved gives you, but because love itself becomes the only reality. As Rumi said, I want to see you, know your voice, recognize you when you first come around the corner. Sense you send when I come into the room you just left. I want to know the curve of your face, the way you move. I want to love you, even when you're not lovable. Modern love, conditional. Real love, regardless. In our era of hypervisibility, love is often enacted rather than lived. People stage their intimacy for social media, frame their romance in cinematic terms. Love becomes a spectacle. The stage of love is seductive. It flatters the ego, but it is also hollow. Once the audience disappears, so too does the desire to perform. Kierkegaard describes this as the aesthetic stage, where love is pursued with excitement, novelty, and beauty instead of what it really is. The poet Nefari said, "When love is seen, it is not love." For the sages, the poets, the dreamers, and lovers, love is more. It is something fiery, fierce, and alchemical. In Radical Love, Dr. Amit Safi speaks of love as unruly and luminous, always spilling over whatever cup seeks to contain it. Love comes unabashedly, radiantly, in 1,000 different colors and shades that still blend into one. Nowadays, when we speak of love, we almost exclusively mean romantic love. But the philosopher Ahmad Ghazali, brother of the famous Al-Ghazali, cautioned against dividing love into categories. To him, true supreme love is but one. There is love of the friend, the neighbor, the child, of the parent, the lover, the stranger, of God and the prophets, of saints and sinners, love of the self, love of the enemy, of nature, of realms seen and unseen, and more, all of which blend into one. That is why the sages taught that love is not just a relationship, it is a state of being. That kind of love is not selective, it permeates everything. Love is a purifying fire that burns away selfishness, anger, greed, ego, and leaves behind nothing but love. The Sufi mystics speak of this as fana, the dissolution of the self in the presence of love. The boundaries blur, not in a way that raises you, but expands you beyond recognition. The self becomes wide enough to contain another. The I begins to include the other within it. And when the self dissolves, there's no longer my love or your love, there's just love. All love is a kind of worship, in both the religious and existential sense. To love deeply is to say, you matter more to me than my comfort. I will bear witness to you. I will let you change me. And in this sense, love is not an emotion. It is not something we feel. It is something we become. Thank you for watching this video. If you really enjoyed this kind of content, then I encourage that you like and comment. And comment especially because I really want to know what you think. And if you want to talk to me or ask me any question at all, you can contact me on my Instagram anytime.